Does that really make a difference, you think? I mean, I'm sure it does.
I don't know, because sometimes I haven't done it, and I feel like I don't notice it. But every time I'm always like, well, let me
might
try
have
to
too
do the
much
best I
earwax.
can. Yeah,
That's what I think.
I am kind of deaf, honestly.
I think I am a little bit too.
Yeah.
But it's weird things that I realize, like if people are whispering in another room, I can hear it clear as day.
Yeah.
But somebody could be in front of me, and it's just too many sensations going on, like too much talking. I can't even hear a fucking word you're saying.
You can't hear shit.
Or you say, what? And like after the second what, you're just like, oh, yeah.
All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just say yeah.
When
Yeah,
you're
I can
in
go
that
with anything.
corner, you can't hear shit.
Yeah.
And then even when I'm like, I mean, part of it, I think you're just sleepy. You don't want to hear my shit in the morning. But sometimes I'll like make a joke or something, like when you're like near a client, and you like you just get no response. I'm like, okay.
What'd you say?
I don't know. Like,
I'm just kidding.
Oh. Yeah.
Exactly. What's up? It's Monday. It's the All or Nothing Show. My name's Austin. Got the boys today. Brock, Griffin.
Yeah.
Good to have y'all.
Got the drinks.
Got the drinks. Mm-hmm.
Got the White Monster, the knockoff.
Sam's Club combo.
I was about to say, I know you.
Hey.
I was gonna ask.
Is
you
that
got the
what flavor is
combo.
that?
Cherry lime.
Looks good.
You got the 3-pack,
PSA.
didn't you?
Is it? No. Yeah, it is PSA.
You mind if I
Public
waterfall
service
that real quick?
Yeah,
It's been a while since
it's
I had that
good.
one.
I didn't
Throwed
realize
it.
how good it was. The first time I had it, yeah. Get that tongue in there.
I'll clean it up for you.
But honestly, PSA to everybody, the Sam's
Pretty
Club
good.
has the best rain flavors. It's a 3-pack right now. White gummy bear, orange dreamsicle, cherry limeade.
Damn. That is a good pack.
If you couldn't do, if you could swap cherry limeade out, what would you swap it with?
Of rains? That's
so
tough.
you got your citrus covered, you got your whatever the hell white gummy bear is. I'm
Your
trying
sweet.
to think of other. Yeah, that's a good point. Sweet. I'm trying to think of like.
Maybe a lemon, like something basic
I
kind
thought
of.
about lemon, but I don't want to do lemon
Sour
and
apple?
orange.
I do like the apple. Now I forget
I'm
all their
trying to
flavors.
remember- I gotta pull them up.
Pull them up. I feel like I
Lychee?
when I
Yeah,
think
I
of
don't like
that,
that one.
I
Some
start
people
thinking
really
of Bang
Oh.
and all of their flavors. They got
Yeah.
a billion.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Sheetz has crazy amounts of G Fuels.
Oh,
I had like 8 new G Fuels that I didn't
Yeah.
buy them because it would have been.
I've
5
never
ton.
liked the texture and carbonation of cheese.
They're
I
not
was
great.
driving home yesterday, and I
Yeah.
stopped at Sheetz, and I was surprised again. Like you said, they had like a Mortal Kombat one,
I did that one.
Sonic, Tetris.
I did Tetris.
Yeah, how'd you like them? I went for C4 instead.
Oh shit.
Tetris sucked. Very like a weird candy, like something that like a cheap candy.
Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of their flavors.
The
honestly.
Mortal
I don't know
Kombat.
why y'all keep buying that G Fuel.
Yeah, well,
It
because
look-
it was just like it was something new, and they
Yeah.
got me. The marketing, like
It does. It is.
It's
different.
probably like the same flavor, but just tweaked a smidge.
Yeah.
to where they could slap something new on it.
It's sweet. And
The Mortal Kombat one was like a blueberry, like a cheap blueberry almost.
You know what? I told you. I sent you this after Accident Sludge did the Dippin' Dots things. I told you every brand is going to move in that direction of using other like products
License.
and foods licenses. Yeah, like there's the Dippin' Dots. There's the Sonic. Now the Mortal Kombat. Ghost has done it with the Oreo or the cookie. Whatever the shit.
The
what
thing
do they
is-
pay for? Just the name?
Yeah.
Or is it like flavor match?
They
sort
probably
of
pay
formula?
royalties per like product. It might be like 2 cents per drink.
I'm sure that like each place has, when you have the license, you have the leverage,
Yeah.
so you can be like, hey, I want $1 per tub, or
Yeah.
I just want you to give me an upfront $10,000, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can sell millions, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard through like other people in the industry talking about is that it is different with each license. You have to do agreements or like negotiate, and then sometimes they'll give the brand the license and the images and say, and they don't even want to taste what you're gonna make. Like they just don't even give a fuck. Like they're like, oh, you want to do a monster powder?
Yeah.
Fuck it, you can have the monster. We aren't even going to try it, see if it's even close.
It's crazy though.
But then they say some brands will be tight and be like, hey, it has to taste exactly like it, or we're not going to let you do it.
yeah.
So that's why you'll see some brands out there that do collabs, and it's like, oh, it tastes like dick,
Yeah.
because like those either licensees don't give a shit or they do.
Dang.
It
do you
is
know what Ghost
smart.
does?
I think they work pretty close with everybody they do.
It's pretty smart though, because like whenever you see Ghost do like Oreo, you instantly like just want to at least try it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know I don't even like Ghost protein that much, but I see the Oreo, I'm like, damn, like, because you just have that feeling with Oreos, or you see Sour Patch Kids logo, and you're like, man, that's got to be good. You see Sonic, and you're like, that must be good, versus if they just put on their, like, Rainbow Blast. You wouldn't give a shit.
It's so funny, too, because, like you said, Brock, like, if they just had cookies and cream, I'm like, man, that's really horrible. But it's like Oreo, I'm like,
it, like, hits your,
and it's
it hits
probably
neurons.
cookies and cream.
Yeah, it hits different, like, feelings for you.
I don't know anything about Ghost, but I have heard that they work really tightly with their licensees or whatever, so they're pretty legit. I don't know about other brands or like Axe and Sledge. Hopefully they have. It seems like they're the type of people that would do it.
Pretty accurate.
They'd probably do it the right way.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to think that, you know, this is the way I see it at first. Off like face value, is it worth it to get your margin cut to have their logo or their image? Yes, if you're going all out like Ghost, like they rebrand their whole tub for Oreo or Chips Ahoy or whatever the fuck. But at the same time, does it make you feel weak? Maybe it's emotional, me thinking about this. Does it make my brand weak that I can't make a flavor? I need to use somebody else's IP or branding to sell shit?
I think of it like a cover
weak?
song. Like sometimes the cover song is the reason you like click on the video to give it a listen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Because you already like the song and you want to see
and
how
they do
someone
their
else
own version
does it.
pretty well. Gotcha, yeah. I guess when you say that, because at first it's like, oh, it's just weak because you can't sell your own product without their branding.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's just to get a foot
maybe it's
in the
just me
door.
being butthurt.
Like if Ghost came out with the energy drinks and it was that citrus one, and then the tropical one.
I thought the citrus was the best one.
Yeah, but if you only saw those, would you really even give them a chance?
Not as
but
quickly
if you
as
saw
the
the
Sour
Sour
Not as
Patch,
quickly, no.
Or the Warheads one, people grab it.
And I was the type, I've drank it multiple times now, but I don't go out of my way to get it. But I was the type there, I was like, I at least need to try it once. And after I tried it once, I was like, I won't go out of my way to get it. It was good. Is it fucking like the only thing I'm ever buy? No. Will I still buy these all day? Yes. But that's me.
You can go that route, or you can go the route of the pussy energy drink. And just have something outrageous and absurd.
Now that's branding that you could pay big money for.
You know what's the opposite, though?
What?
3D branding. Very basic.
It is.
Plain.
Arial font.
But I kind of fuck with it.
Reminds me of Oakley a little bit.
Yeah.
They just have the O.
It's like wide, squared off letters, basically. But even like with my client, when she was leaving, she noticed them and was like, oh, what are these? These are pretty cool. I was explaining, like, oh, it's a fitness influencers, like, brand, blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her how, like, even when we get them, they usually don't sell that well just because all the other labels in there are pretty flashy and tactile and cool and all that. But, I mean, you and I have, like, raved about them before. Like, they're just, none of them disappoint.
It's so funny, too, I feel like, to explain to people that are outside of, like, fitness or Instagram of, like, sometimes people that I train will be like, oh, what are those drinks? Like, why are they in the cooler? That's not a Monster. That's not this and that. And I'm like, oh, they're, like, influencer brands.
Yeah.
Have
and
you
it's
heard
like,
of
these are
Christian
highly
Guzman?
sought after.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't know?
Do you know what a buff bunny is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. To think. I mean, it's crazy that, brand is definitely huge right now, or, like, that's the way it's got to be. Like, you have to have brand to make it any success.
yeah.
But then, like, to throw an influencer on top of that just, like, supercharges anything.
But it's like we talked about last week. Like, some brands are so closely tied with a specific athlete or a specific thing that it's like, they really can just ride that athlete or that leader into, like, the sunset,
Yeah.
Or there's some people, especially in the bodybuilding, like, area, a lot of the athletes, hop around different brands, like Derek Lunsford's with Animal, then he's with Evogen, then he's, with whatever.
And would you think you would ever buy a product like, I see somebody like Frank McGrath, even though he's kind of like dead to the bodybuilding industry, but for a minute he was switching to Animal, then this, and then
He was
that.
Animal for years, but he switched to Raycon 1. I don't know what he's done since.
Yeah, and he's done a couple other things. I think he does one now, but it's like, who? I guess unless you're new to Frank McGrath, like you haven't followed him, like who would like? Why would you buy? You wouldn't feel like any connection with the brand. I mean, maybe some people do. They're diehard Frank McGrath, but it's like, dude, you're just making a buck.
Always funny too. Like, I follow Sadiq, and he used to be with Gap for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like you switch to Cellucor, and it's like guys, trust me, these are the best on the market. And it's like, no, F you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You have no
I feel
integrity.
like bodybuilders are the most obvious like fakos when it comes to
Sellouts,
and sellouts when it comes to supplements
Yeah.
because that's where they
That's
make
where
their
they
money.
make the money.
But like influencers, since they really have, I feel like maybe more companies reaching out to them, and their success isn't dependent on how they place in a show. That they kind of have a little bit more security and a little bit more control when they negotiate with these brands. And I feel like, they just have a little bit more to choose from as far as like what the actual
So they can be genuine or have an opportunity to be genuine.
Yeah, and
Some
I
of
feel
them
like
aren't.
they just you feel like you trust them more because of you get to see a little bit more of their life, things like that. But it's definitely interesting that when you're in like a kind of cult following or a niche group like bodybuilding, and all these people, these Mad Oguses and blah blah blah. But you know what's really weird to me though is like the younger kids coming up. They don't know any of the people that me and Griffin like used to watch, but I don't know any of these other people that they watch, like Lex Little or Anthony Mantello or all these people at Zoo Culture. Like they'll talk about Bradley Martin. I'm like, I followed Bradley Martin for years before he opened Zoo Culture. All you know about is Zoo Culture, It's strange.
Yeah, that's
how
true.
do I explain
They've
this to
never
the
even
kids?
heard of the beef with Callum.
Oh fuck yeah. They don't even know the potential that Callum Bummaker had before the bicep tear.
Yeah.
Arnold too.
Man.
There's some crazy like gap.
Yeah.
Big gap.
And it's not even that big. Like the kids that came here that just left to college. They're only 3 years younger than me. But I feel like there's such a different
the Old Testament.
Yeah, I feel that's what it is. I feel like we watch the Old Testament of YouTube. They don't know what a max tuning is or what this is. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. But I think that's how things change so quickly, and it's hard to like realize things adapt or things do, like at least in the past 6 years, maybe
Things have
more.
grown so much.
Like crazy changed fast.
Yeah.
From just social media to influencers.
Supplements people use. I remember when I started, everyone would use either C4 or BSN or Optimum. That was like mostly it.
Yeah.
And then like you might see like one or two people that follow Matt Ogus that'll have a Gymshark like stringer in the gym. Now you can't go to a gym that doesn't have Alpha Lead or Gymshark. Like that's all the leggings girls wear, all the shirts that guys wear. It's just what it is. They're all taking Ghost or Gorilla Mind and all these different things now. Kids don't start at C4; they go to the hard shit.
I need to pick up a camera.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I need to start like just vlogging. Fuck.
Gotcha.
I was actually talking to Brock about that. I need to find me a little camera, a little side piece.
Yeah.
We'll see. But for now, I'm still using my phone. But it's just crazy. I was talking like, it's a $1,000 phone, even though it's not meant to be a camera. But his camera, that's your camera's probably close to 1,000, right?
Close.
Yeah. Well, anyways, there's just so much more like depth of field and like detail that's brought out with just a camera compared to these, even though they shoot 4K most of the time.
Yeah, you realize there's a difference between like what is 4K or like such and such megapixel. Like that doesn't really translate to the
I was gonna ask you, Griffin, if you knew like the exact reason, because I was telling him, I was like, that might be my iPhone might be 4K.
Yeah.
It might have a lens on it. Obviously, you can't swap the lens, so there's a clear difference. But let's say the lens is supposed to have 2.8 focal length and the megapixels and all, and a good sensor, but it still comes out almost looking like flat compared to a DSLR or separated camera.
The reason is a couple things. One is the sensor size, which usually allows for, like, for example, full frame camera would have a larger sensor. So it would be like an inch versus, let's say, like a 3/4 or ½ inch for like a crop sensor camera. Yeah. So that allows for more depth of field and also more dynamic range. And then also usually it's like the color profile that it's shot in, to where like the phone, typically like an iPhone or an Android will have like how it registers or reads the colors, and that's like kind of software based. That's also kind of hardware based at the same time. A lot more phones like the Pixel or other things like that do more in software. Or you might notice, like if you've gotten a new iPhone, Brock, it just reads colors differently than your old iPhone. Like I always felt like the old iPhone, you look more defined on the camera, or like you could bump the contrast more because the newer iPhones kind of like flatten things out to make things more even for like your face for Instagram story. Yeah, like not, it makes it look more flattering for like more so selfie or like FaceTime, but also it kind of covers up the definition too, just because it does a lot more in the software to make sure that things aren't blown out in one direction or another. But yeah, the other thing is I think just honestly having like a set lens for like a set, you know, focal length and aperture and like the blades of the lens that kind of close to be able to give that depth of field or other things like that, it does create a lot more professional look rather than just like a phone or a GoPro or other things like that too. So sometimes, you know, it is a $1,000 phone and it probably does have a good camera for phones, but sometimes it is just like, I don't know, it's hard to think of a similar thing.
It's interesting though. It's almost like every camera though has its like scenario. Like for example, like you said, I was like editing a bunch of footage from my recent run with the GoPro and then my Sony and then the Canon from my friend's camera. And it was interesting seeing like obviously the GoPro's big advantage is it can be used in action, and so it's like it's definitely going to be more stabilized with the internal stabilizer and be able to do a lot more different things than let's say my phone would be or my Sony. You're trying to run with that because it's a lot lighter. But then when I'm doing more close-up shots or for most scenarios, you know, you'll want that DSLR full-frame camera. But then on social media, at least not as actual posts, but on stories, it's almost better to use like your phone camera because it almost looks more natural to people. Because when you use like, let's say before I've used like my Sony and just held it vertically and recorded stories and it looks really crispy and people immediately notice and they're like, hey, like, is that like your iPhone or what phone do you have? And it's like, I mean, there's some benefit to that if you want to pull off that look, but it's almost like people like seeing things a little bit more natural. It's kind of like if you edit and put the text on the screen, it's not as nice to people if you type the text within Instagram story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's almost like, which I thought about this a lot with just content in general as well. And it's changed a lot over the past like 2 or 3 years with Instagram as far as like what you're able to post and like quality differences before. But I don't know if you remember too, kind of thinking off of fitness related content, but when like Shreds or other companies were like bigger on the scene initially, I remember thinking how crazy it was for some of their content that it was like all shot with professional cameras, like it was in like a studio or like a studio kind of kitchen for like their protein or other things like that, and not just like somebody's like picture of a shaker from their cell phone where everyone else was kind of doing that at the time with the different Instagram filters. But as like that catches on more and more, you start to just feel like everything is like so scripted and kind of like astroturfed and like cooked up in some like studio or meeting or something like that, and you almost start to gravitate more towards like organic phone shot stuff because it's like, okay, this is just real, like this isn't planned and edited and cut together just for the sake of this, like this person's just doing it on the fly, and you know, it feels like it's like part of the ecosystem rather than like something that's just dropped in. And I think that has to do too with like how much more ads have kind of become a part of Instagram, to where like every third post as you scroll through is an ad, and every like third story you tap through is an ad that's like kind of thrown on your feed. So it almost feels better when, because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'll get fooled by the Instagram story ads because I'll just be scrolling through and thinking that it's somebody that I know. If the ad is shot like on an iPhone or if it's shot from like a selfie perspective. So it is kind of funny sometimes that like that is an effective ad strategy.
Yeah, and
now.
I've even noticed sometimes brands will even want you to film on an iPhone, so it does seem a little bit more natural, so that, like you said, when you are tapping through, you think it's someone you follow.
Yeah.
And you're less likely to just click right off.
It's so funny like how you can just kind of pick that out within the first like second or so, but then it takes a second to realize that you know it's an ad or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I definitely, not to like dick ride or agree with everything he says, but you know, Gary Vee always saying like this is the new TV, which it is, because I mean I get most of my content YouTube. I'm watching this more than my TV, my $500-$600 TV, but you know, and since it is becoming the TV quality with everybody's production. Even like GYMFLO for the longest time, and I still do some shit with my phone camera, but like, you know, just seeing the difference in the amount of engagement and just the look of the page and content that we put out with better cameras, it's just like a whole nother level. It just makes you feel better, obviously, personally as the brand owner, but I'm sure people enjoy some of the videos better, which, you know, I guess it doesn't matter as long as the content's good, but, you know, it is always better when it's a little bit more crispy and more detailed. And
especially if that's someone's first impression.
Yeah.
It's so crucial for that person to, whether in reality or not, they think it's like a big shot production, and that, you know, when you want to relay that GYMFLO is premium supplements, you don't want them to think it's like a rinky-dink, even if it's us just slapping a video together.
Three idiots. They
don't know that. They just see high-quality video, good edit, good shot, you know, video, well-scripted, whatever. So yeah.
It is funny sometimes following like people like Max and Christian, as time goes on and their content gets better or like their production gets better, you notice like, whoa, like what camera is that, or like what color grade, or like, you know, look at how wide this is now, or
Some
stabilized.
of them are so cinematic. It's almost like
but then it's almost like you see some new channels or like new people that are kind of on the up and coming, and it's funny to see their channel and just be like, well, this kind of feels like the old YouTube, or like before everything was so like flashy as well overall, that it's got a different kind of charm to it.
I do enjoy, you know, because like when you say Max, because I don't watch all those videos, obviously, but like I don't keep up with them, but I might watch a few minutes of one every month. You know, if I have just some bullshit time, I'll see like the first few minutes of it. Right out the gate, it seems like a storyboard of like how he rolls everything in together, and it seems like almost scripted, which, I mean, I think he does admit that he like plans it out, or he tries to like plan out his day ahead of time, or like, you know, put 3 days together worth of plans to get it to mesh into one day. But I do enjoy watching older videos or new and up and coming people that are still using an iPhone or an Android or whatever, or just pick up the camera and talk to it. Like there's no script. It's just, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now. This is what I'm doing right now. It's not like, oh, this is what I'm about to get into today. This is what we're doing for the brand or whatever, this, that. Like it's very simpler. Yeah. And I do deep down enjoy watching those much more than like watching a storyboard.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with you cycling again? I see you've been back at it a little bit.
Yeah.
A little something.
Cycling's been good. So for anybody that didn't catch last week's, I've been cleared to work out. I'm still on blood thinners, and as far as I know, I can continue doing what I want to do as long as I just don't feel uncomfortable and don't feel any sharp chest pains or out of breath. So
that chestnut syndrome.
That chestnut, I got to cough my nuts back out of my chest. But I've been slowly getting back to it. I didn't bike over the weekend because I went out of town, but the past week I've been biking almost every day, whether it's not as low as 3 miles, maybe like 5-6 miles, or 10, 17, 15 miles. And it's been feeling good. Pretty consistent. I will say, I don't know if it's just because I had that month off practically of training, and now like that I'm back in, I've been starting to increase intensity and weights and stuff like that. So my legs, I feel like haven't recovered, quads at least. Even my ass cheeks. Crazy thing is I went and rode on the bike trail, about a week ago? And it was I went like 17 miles. Didn't have a goal mileage and time. I just said, all right, I'm going to go out for about an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes. However far I get out, I'm going to turn around halfway. And so I made it about 17 point something miles. And the whole ride back, my ass cheeks were like so tender. And I'd never felt that before riding a bike. And I think it's because I crushed hams and glutes the day before. I didn't realize how much I was using my ass cheeks to pedal, like up and down a hill and stuff. And I got off the bike, and my ass cheeks were so sore for like, I keep on saying ass cheeks, but my glutes, whatever. Yeah, that.
I think ass cheeks is the proper anatomical term.
Ass cheek.
Yeah.
But those shits were sore. And even like the teardrop of my quads, like it was definitive areas, teardrop and ass cheeks. And, but it's been good though. I mean, I think it's helped my legs recover a little bit also, but it's been a little painful some days, or a little just like, oh man, legs feel heavy as shit today. Like
one thing I've been trying to push you to do is stretch and warm up before and after. I don't think you've been doing it, but eventually.
No.
Eventually.
And as far as like warming up, you know, I definitely should do something of that, because that's a easy, like, no-brainer thing to do. It's sometimes when you get off the bike, you're like, oh, I'm ready to get out of here if I can go home.
And it's a little bit different because you are getting on a like machine in a sense rather than going and doing free weights or running or
Yeah.
doing swimming, doing something like that. But it's still you'd be surprised, because things do, I would say, as get tight.
Yeah, I definitely realize my hamstrings and glutes need to be loosened up a lot because they get burnt up on this thing.
Did you adjust the seat position?
Yeah, I did. It's a little bit better. I still don't think it's right because I still get a little uncomfortable. Not my dick, my toes.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But inside joke.
Yeah.
But my ass still gets a little like sore, my tailbone. I just don't think I have enough meat on my ass.
I think
Not
you
to
need
say
to get. Yeah, poor thing. You need to get those biker shorts that got the pads in the bottom,
that,
by the
like
nuts.
that taint region,
taint pads.
like where there's no meat. Like it doesn't matter how much muscle you got on your body, unless like you're able to grow taint muscle. That
my
cock muscle.
My ass has started to like have like less. I feel like fat on it since I've been running.
Yeah, and
he's got shredded glutes.
Yeah,
shredded.
Yeah,
but
walnut glutes.
Yeah, not to say
below
like
these shorts.
none of us have like meat on our ass, but I feel like most of our asses are probably leaner than most people. Like
I hope,
the average.
So yeah,
and when there's not, it's just all muscle and meat down there. It's not like cushion for the pushing. It gets a little tender down there quick.
Yeah, we ain't got the dump
true.
truck no more. Too lean.
That dumb truck.
Yeah.
Another inside thing. But bike's been good, man. And I'm excited to get back to it today, hopefully. Probably not outside, but just been doing the stationary bike here or there, and maybe once a week getting on the real bike. Twice a week, maybe. Depends on the weather, too,
How's your new doctor? Have you gone back?
No, I haven't gone back. I still need to set up.
Huge.
Yeah, it's online.
Yeah.
Zoom.
He's out in Thailand.
He's on that Roman.
He's got me. Got me on a protocol right now. Said it should bust the clots right up. And
stuff. It's like
busting
draining.
clots and busting nuts.
Busting nuts. But he said nuts might go away. It's
Who
normal.
needs those?
It's a side effect.
But I still need a primary care doctor. So if anybody has anybody cool, which I have a few in mind that I just need to reach out to, but the hematologist I have, the specialist, he's cool. I fuck with him because he just listened,
I would go to
Just need someone to listen.
Carytown patient first.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
that's
Yeah.
who I go to.
No thanks.
Yeah. So you go in for one thing, they give you maybe 3 different options. I went in one time for like just a cough that wouldn't go away. They put me on antibiotics.
Dude,
Come back again. They're like, "Oh, we'll just do Dayquil."
I feel like doctors prescribe
$50,
you
right?
anything, dude. They give you anything. I remember when I was getting my wisdom teeth out, they gave me like 4 different like fucking pills to take. 2 of them were like heavy.
Yeah.
And I only fulfilled like 3 of them, and like one of the heavy options. I only took the heavy pill like the first night after, and then after that, I was like, I don't even want to get near this shit.
Yeah.
I should have, but I feel like I don't think we talked about this before. I remember I talked about it a while ago. Is I feel like people like obviously we know people have like issues with painkillers, but I almost feel like people expect like you're supposed to take pills so you don't have any pain. But if you have surgery or you're going through like some soreness, you're supposed to be sore. Your body just went through surgery. You just went through a workout. But people will take like ibuprofen or these different. They'll be like, I need a painkiller. I need Tylenol. When it's like you're supposed to feel sore. You're not supposed to feel like you didn't do anything.
I can get
too
it
quick to take a pill.
Yes, for most things, like 90% of people, they want complete comfort.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want any like discomfort at all. Like, oh, my back. You hear that one all the time. Oh, my lower back's acting up. I need to take a pill.
Yeah.
I need to go take a pill real quick. Or my shoulder's acting up. I need to take a pill. It's like, all right, well, are you just band-aiding that for forever?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna make a solution to like either stretch it or get it better, or you're just gonna rely on that pill the rest of your life and take more and more and more? Because usually that's what happens. And, or you get with harder shit. Ibuprofen turns to some hard shit or whatever the case. Or even alcohol. Yeah, I think people do Band-Aid shit too much. You gotta embrace that shit. You gotta eat that up. You gotta swallow that.
Gotta eat it.
I don't know. Who am I to talk? I mean, I have aches and pains daily, but I'm used to it. I think you just gotta fucking easier said than done. Because I don't want to get in anybody's head and be like, oh, you're a pussy. But you kind of are. It depends on the situation.
Everyone's situation is different. For most people.
That's what I'm saying. Most people, there's going to be the people, if you lost your fucking leg or, you had some serious shit going on.
You lost a leg. Quit being a pussy.
Yeah, like I am not saying that, but majority, like the average Joe that, I got my lower back's tight from sitting in the chair all day at work.
Yeah,
Advil. I'm gonna pop some ibuprofen and go home. I'm gonna hit happy hour and shit like that. Yeah. You aren't working on yourself to get better. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. What's update on Overcome?
Still in here. So
the contest,
giving away all the tubs and nobody's posted yet. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. So if you happen to still have your box and you haven't seen the huge label piece that I put in there,
just throwing away free tubs.
Yeah. 50th like on the All or Nothing show.
Hey, you know what? I like that. Let's do something real quick. Share the show. Share this show. And tag it, obviously on Instagram. Share it, tag it. Tag us, all three of us, Brock, Griffin, Austin, and GYMFLO. And you'll be entered in a chance to win a free tub when it launches. So the next shows, tag every show up until launch date. Might be one, might be two more shows, who knows? And the more shows.
Rate, Sledge is just going to fucking win running away.
Well, starting now, so everybody that's listening, you got your warning. Sledge is on his shit.
Yeah, Sledge is on his shit. Sledge repost.
The wolf at the top of the hill.
Yeah. So y'all still have a chance.
I mean, I can't do much more than give you free shit. Like that's what I've been trying to do for the past week, 2 weeks here, and nobody.
Trying to get
people are ordering, but nobody's posting it.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for the support and whatnot. But if you wanted a free tub, you got to make some action. You got to get some action.
Yeah, you got to put out.
Yeah.
I know someone just opened the box like, trash.
Yeah. What?
Something.
Congrats. You want a free tub? Don't want it. Don't want it.
Free.
Yeah, nothing's free. Literally. Yeah. But the Overcome flavor, hopefully, when I talked to my guy, he said the 23rd, week of the 23rd, which he did next week. But he said maybe sooner. Remember, because I was like, he said 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but maybe sooner. That was about a week ago. So, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's always that case.
Rather than later.
Yeah, but I will say I got my label guy. He hit me up yesterday. Said he's pretty much done painting
on the future product.
On the first label, because we're doing two flavors of this future product. So first one's almost done. The sooner we can get those labels knocked out, the quicker we can get into the action. So. Hopefully he can get his game together and start knocking some shit out.
To see.
Yeah, me too. Dang. But other than that, still keeping on. We are going to be doing, if anybody's into 5Ks, check out Run With a Purpose out at Dory Park. That's out in the East End of Verona. They're doing a 5K September 5th. That's a Sunday. You can still sign up. We're going to be out there as a vendor. GYMFLO will be. I'll have a booth. Come by, get samples, overcome, rehydrate after you run or before you run, and come out, say what's up. It's going to be other vendors out there, ton of people supposedly, so looking forward to that. I think it's free to come out and watch and just spectate, but obviously if you want to run, you got to sign up. Not through me. Runwithapurpose.com, I believe. So check that out. And hopefully we're going to do more shit like that. I want to get...
maybe you can get into the Richmond Marathon.
Yeah, I want to get into that. So if anybody knows of any people to reach out or tag them and send some of this stuff like this, I would love to get into like some more community events of races, marathons, whatever fitness-related stuff that we could do throughout Richmond and get back to the community, get out there and say what's up and offer some cool products. Yeah. But other than that, I don't think there's any other updates. Same old, same old.
You know what I fucked up, though?
What?
I picked up the questions.
That's all right.
Give me the box. And then while I'm picking some.
Yeah.
I'll talk.
Y'all will have to find something to talk now.
Fuck. The pressure's on.
Went camping this weekend.
I saw that.
A little bit past where you were.
Yeah.
So
how'd that go? It's a little rainy, right?
Well, the place always says that like every day when you check the weather for it, it says it like rains every day.
Yeah.
But the clouds just move so fast up there, or like kind of just form or go away.
Yeah.
That you usually get pretty lucky. So thankfully it only rained for like, pretty much a couple hours during the night. The rest of the time it was like just overcast, which I always like in the mountains too, because it's cool when you can see the clouds from a distance and stuff like that. But anyway, always a good time. I wish it was a little bit closer because it's like 5 hours away. But
you go out there with somebody?
I did.
Did you pitch a tent?
tent was pitched. Actually, it was
Hey,
it was a
man.
one-man tent, and I was like, oh, I feel like it's pretty roomy for me because
Yeah.
Buddha sleeps on my chest usually, and I can at
Buddha
least
had
like
to sleep
spread out.
outside.
All right, you kicked him out.
Yeah.
But
Don't bug.
the tent was a little bit more of a tight fit than I thought, and also like my sleeping pad that like you put to avoid sleeping on the ground. A little bit more of a small sleeping pad than I thought.
Oof.
So sleeping on the ground, neck's a little bit stiff. You're a little bit cold. But one thing that was kind of funny is you have to put your stuff up there in a bear box, like a bear like locker essentially at night, your food, to keep bears from coming into your tent or your campsite. And but when I got up there and pitched the tent, it started to kind of get rainy. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to take a nap here. And so I woke back up basically when it was like right about to be nighttime.
Yeah.
And had to basically just keep the like phone light, up to, and it was still kind of rainy, but did the little jet boil to like cook the meal. So basically light the little propane, boil the water, pour it in, wait, and then start to eat. So kind of like eating in the dark, like, okay, I think I'm done, basically. And then you have to go put your food away in the bear box. So by this point, the rain is kind of receded. And I have a little, like, headlamp. So I step out, and it's, like, pitch black. And also, you can tell you're kind of inside of a cloud because I can only see from, like, me to you, basically, with the headlamp on full blast. And I was pretty scared of the dark, honestly.
Oh, shit. Boogeyman, don't get him.
Yeah, well, I thought, what if there's a bear at the bear box? Like, it's nighttime. That's probably when they come.
And that is, like, the worst spot to be. It is the bear box, so they're trying to get into it. They can't, obviously, but that's what they smell is that box. So
yeah,
they're gonna
exactly.
be at the box.
So it was, thankfully survived. But it was an interesting time. And then also...
Would you all stayed out there at night? Just one night?
Yeah, just one night. So... It honestly, I feel like, which I like doing the backpacking stuff. I like just keeping everything on your back and feeling like it packs down nice, like it's lightweight. Somewhat, you can always kind of go lighter, but it's always a certain amount of like how much do you want to spend. Kind of like the bike, I'm sure.
Did somebody pack luggage?
No,
okay.
Although it's kind of, I had to tuck my tail between my legs a little bit because I feel like I kind of am like minimalist with certain things, and so I'm like, okay, well, I pack everything I think I need, and that's it. Like, I don't think about any potential circumstance, so I had to say, can I use the raincoat?
Oh!
I'm cold. All I had was this t-shirt. It's like 60 and the wind's blowing and it's raining.
Ooh.
So,
Nice, I like that.
yeah, I had to swallow my pride a little bit, but lesson learned. But it's a good test run for going up to Maine in a couple weeks.
Did you have a fire going at all?
Wait, when are you going to Maine?
September 11th.
Salute.
Yeah. So now that the Nut Bash isn't happening anymore, so going up there for a week. On the way up, gonna stop at Attila's gym.
Nice.
In Boston.
Pay your
for the
respects
night.
there.
Yeah, I will.
Boston?
I'm gonna go in
No, it's in New Jersey.
and play that Dr. Fauci song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They'll let you in for sure.
Yeah. And then on the way back,
Fauci.
gonna stop and hopefully get a Philly cheesesteak to try.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'll keep you posted.
I like that.
But I was thinking about this on the way up hiking because I honestly like love doing that so much. It's hard, but it's like very rewarding at the same time, especially if there's like good views while you're doing it.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, hey, I'm working a lot harder than Brock from his ultra marathon. No, I'm just kidding.
Brock's sleeping
where'd you
in.
say you went?
Mount Rogers, down in like it's called Mouth of Wilson, Virginia. So basically like very, very southwest tip, almost at like North Carolina or Tennessee. But no, I was just thinking about like
How hot was it? Because it was hot as shit when I ran Thursday. It's probably was still
probably like
heat index.
upper 70s, like low 80s, I would
Oh,
say.
okay.
But I did kind of get
Probably
like a
was hotter.
farmer's tan.
Yeah.
You can see. But the next day was a little bit colder. But honestly, I feel like y'all have your own things outside of lifting.
Yeah.
And that I really do feel like when I go out there, I'm like, okay, this is my thing. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's just
feel
hard
so
to sometimes
alive.
Plan
but
out
yeah,
as much.
it's hard to like,
Yeah.
it's hard to actually coordinate as often because
Yeah.
it's not like a daily thing either. But no, I just love it. And it's honestly one of those things I feel like it's such a cool, it's not that fun in the moment. And I do kind of feel like, you know, am I that much of a baby sometimes with certain things? Like, do I need, like, it's fun to me to kind of feel like I find where I am on the spectrum. Because I have some friends that do like the cowboy camping where they sleep under a tarp basically on the ground. Yeah. And I can't really do that. No. But I also feel like I at least like finding the level that I feel like I'm more extreme at than like an RV camper or something like that.
Glamping.
Like, yeah, it's fun to feel like, okay, well, you can go like basically like 5 miles and up like 4,000 feet elevation gain, and then like, you know, just find where you want to lay down for the night and stuff like that. It's kind of fun to just feel like it's all, you know, an activity, you know, you're sightseeing, you're also like learning some skills. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it's just fun for me to kind of feel
your way
like, yeah,
of getting uncomfortable, you know?
I think it's like important, whether it's the cycling or the running or the hiking or whatever you do, to not put too much on your pressure of like, oh, well, I'm not going this extreme with it. I'm not that bare bones with it, or I'm not fast enough. So where I'm not a real runner. I'm not doing it as hard as someone else would. I think you gotta like you said, you're getting uncomfortable for yourself, or you're having fun for yourself, and you're still challenging yourself in a way that's giving you growth, giving you an experience. And I think it's important, to look at it from internally rather than, you know, comparatively.
Because I find, like, especially the last time I rode the bike, it was hot as fuck outside. Only rode it like 5 miles. I think it was like 4.9, and I was like, I'm not even going to finish that 0.1 because it was so hot and I was burnt and my legs were dying. And when I was on the ride back, I was like, man, it sucks because I wanted to ride even further and longer. But I was like, you know what? Me just being out here right now is uncomfortable. And I know, like, if I was to think, oh man, the only biker I know is Lance Armstrong. So it's like, Lance would, you know, if I compared myself to like the most extreme of something like that, or Dave Mira, which is the BMX guy, he killed himself or some shit. Oh, RIP. But, you know, if I compare myself to somebody like that, it's like, oh, dude, why am I even doing this? It's pointless. But it's like, I love the fact that I was like, man, I'm out here pushing myself out here in this shit when I could have just did the stationary bike, you know? Yeah. Or whatever. You know, you could go glamping if you wanted to, but you fucking go out there and you get in, you know, uncomfortable. Yeah. There's something about that. Like, it gets me fired up a little bit when I think about it.
Thursday, because I got very down and disappointed in myself like 15 miles in Thursday, because during my marathon, it was cooler air, and I probably ran about 18 miles or 20 miles before I had to, like, walk up a hill or take a break or this or that. And so, like, comparatively, when I was basically, like, cramping really bad in the stomach at, like, mile 14 and basically had to walk most of the 2 miles back before I got to the car, I was just frustrated because I was like, I'm doing shittier than, like, last time. And, you know, I knew I had a lot more, like, to go. And, you know, I compare so much of, like, okay, well, my marathon time isn't as good as so-and-so I follow on Instagram or this or that. But it's just not always about, like, just purely the numbers or comparing like that. Yeah, you just got to, like, look at it as, you know, how are you experiencing? You're going to grow from this. And it's like you could be at home, like you said, or you could be, you know, taking it easy. And it's like you got to just take the circumstances and appreciate, you know, whatever you're putting yourself through.
You almost find yourself a weird way. It's like you find a different part of yourself. And I'm sure even with the camping, if I was to go do that, like, you get to detach from technology, you get detached from, like, AC, heat, you know, being access to food whenever you want it, or water.
You see what level, like, you're at. Like, are you really, like, that hard, or you really, like, how deep coddled are you into that?
Yeah.
Do I coddle myself, or I let myself get coddled?
And it's fun for me, too, especially because I feel like, you know, that, like, okay, well, if there's discomforts, it's just a temporary thing. So it's almost like enjoyable for the discomforts. Yes. And then it's more enjoyable too when you get to appreciate those comforts again. Because I like a couple things about it too of, it's nice to have a visual of, like, when you're certain ways up, you can look back and say, like, oh, wow, like an hour ago I was down there, or like over there. That it's cool to see how far you've traveled. And then also I feel like I kind of enjoy sleeping on the ground, or, like, you know, having that cold, or, like, feeling like, wow, okay, outside of, like, being at home or in walls or on a bed, like, this is what it's like out here. And, like, this isn't even that bad. Like, and I feel like I'm not slighted, but, like, I'm uncomfortable by it. Like, it's kind of enjoyable to live in that a little bit, and then feel like, okay, well, you know, it's making me better, or like I'm learning that I can like, jump in that stream or like other things like that if it's cold, or, you kind of just appreciate that little bit of like, it helps bring you back to like humanity or something like that a little bit more,
I was just about to say that, like, it's going back to like a different time, I guess, in humanity per se. And then also like getting you the perspective on like how simple life could be, you know, or it is,
it's kind of fun too to get to a certain level where you feel like you've worked yourself down enough that like sleeping on the ground, you get a deep sleep or something like that too. Like, and then your bed feels like a hotel bed when you get 100%. Back and stuff. Or, I'm trying to think of one more thing. Oh, because I was thinking about this on the way back down. Going down the mountain, it's basically like going from rock to rock, and you're almost doing like a split squat or like a lunge. Yeah. But I was just thinking like, man, I'm kind of like worn out from this. Like the backpack is heavy, like my legs are burning, but I'm thinking about like, why lift all the time? Like, I wonder sometimes how more regular people, I'm sure you get better at hiking, but like, I wonder how hard it is for some other people like that too, that like don't do a regular like, exercise regimen.
Nothing makes you like reconsider and like compare shit like that when like I was like 20 miles in, I was like, oh fuck, like I want to eventually run a 100-mile race, and I'm like broken at like fucking mile 20, 25. And I'm just like, yeah, you think about other people when you're like, some of these, like, let's say runners that don't have maybe the muscle mass. I was telling my friend Zach, I was like, the hydration vest was like lighting up my traps and shoulders. Yeah. And I don't even have that much in it. And I'm like, how do these like 140-pound frames handle that shit for that long? I'm like, it's just, I'm sure they train more specifically, but yeah, it really puts into perspective. Like, it's just different, and you can't, like, lifting, it can help prepare you for that, and it does, but it definitely doesn't compare to the actual, that specific day, those conditions, and, like, that moment,
Yeah. When we were in Hawaii, we hiked, it wasn't a huge mountain, but we were pretty high up above sea level, so we were up there where, like, helicopters were, like, eye level with us, so we were up there. But, I don't even think I was carrying anything. I might have had some beers that I carried with me up there, but I remember my legs being crushed. Yeah. And it's way different. Obviously, it's, more so like endurance, but having to like step up, instead of just a normal step, you're having to do that like huge lunge up to or a split to another rock or this or that. And, your legs are just toast after just climbing. It's like, damn. It's definitely a different style of training, more functional for sure, but it definitely gives you some perspective because, I mean, we're in here, we're busting our ass with the gym and the weights and, some volume, but most regular people, they're coming out of their office job with their ski sticks and they're fucking, I'm like, how are they? Yeah.
That's why, like, I've touched on it a little bit in, like, recent captions, and I kind of, like, want to post or talk about it more, but I feel like it's insulting almost to, like, bodybuilders or people that follow us when I, like, say it, but it's really, like, nothing in here is hard compared to, like, when you're really deep on a hike, deep on a run, and like you're pushed to a real far extreme where you're completely
controlled and fine.
Yeah, the gym is very controlled. Like, okay, the last rep or two is hard on a hack squat. You can do a drop set. Your legs are wobbly after lunge, but it's hard, but it's not deathly. When like you're out there in 100 degrees, like fucking running on mile 26, like that's pain and like difficulty and exhaustion. Like, it's just once you go through those different things, like we said, you have a much different perspective and appreciation for the workouts you do in here. This is like patty cake,
It is. Because, you can take a break when you want to. Yeah. You can get in front of the fan if you want to.
Yeah, use an AC,
Yeah, I can re-up on my Overcome when I want to,
Salt it up.
Yeah, salt it up. I can grab a little snack if I want to. It's just, it is definitely different. There's a respect that, I definitely didn't give to most people out there that are either running, riding, or even hiking, doing whatever that's endurance-based like that, or just getting outside.
Sometimes you think of the badasses as the bigger guys or the muscle bounds or the tattoos, but sometimes it's the frail, like 140-year-old, dude just crushing it, just keeps going.
For sure. They're tank. The Terminator. Well, let's not say that.
Oh,
that's not. You can't say that in here anymore.
He said to me,
"Screw your freedom."
Yeah, I know Arnold of years gone by.
Yeah.
That Arnold is dead.
God, dude.
It's sad to say
fuck?
But we've seen the progress, though. Stopped eating meat. denounced everything.
Oh
to
yeah,
do with,
well yeah,
that shit.
I was about to say what progress? You mean process? I guess of a progression of downhill. Yeah. What the fuck, man, dude? There's no need to talk about it. It's just what the fuck.
He's just become the villain. Yeah, it's sad to see.
Yeah.
What
Will we ever
fuck?
go to an Arnold again?
I see people saying, "Oh, I'm not going," but them motherfuckers will be there.
Yeah.
Every influencer will be there. Still.
I'll bring an egg.
Yeah.
Even if I get taken down by security.
You're 30% body fat.
Yeah. That's true.
Fuck, man. That's tough, dude.
All right. So this is Bad People. Little card game. Got some scenarios. Kind of pick who is most likely to fit the scenario. We'll jump right into it.
Yeah.
Who should be banned from creating offspring? I don't think any of us deserve that delegation.
Yeah. I don't feel like any of us, I mean, it's biased me saying this, that my offspring would be good and I would raise my offspring right, but I don't feel like any of us would parent or have weird offspring.
Yeah.
I feel like Griffin's kids would be the ones running around with no shoes, like out in the wilderness, though.
Yeah.
They'd definitely be like
Little
the free
fucking
spirits.
What I forgot those Aborigine people that they wear like the loincloth.
Yeah.
My brother.
Those are mine.
My brother actually used to say that he would have two kids, and one he would raise as a normal kid, and one he would raise as a feral child, and never teach him to talk.
It would be like a cat, like
didn't
see you.
throw food in there, and he said that when they both turned 18, they would fight to the death.
Oh shit! Just toss a stick.
So who would you put money on?
Oh, the feral one, dude. You go chimpanzee mode on him.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
Probably got a grip on him, like I don't know what, fucking swinging from branch to branch.
Gorilla grip.
Yeah,
he doesn't understand anything, but yeah,
he just knows how to kill.
Who would eat a handful of live wasps for the least amount of money?
Griffin.
Me?
It had to be Griffin. I wouldn't eat any bugs like that.
I would eat bugs for money, but I don't know about the least amount of money. And I feel like not that you are cheap or anything like that, but I think you'd be okay with eating something organic as that for a couple bucks.
If it was the wasp that stung me on the foot, I would eat it.
That thing had
retribution.
Each individual leg, and then his head.
Like with a fork and knife.
Yeah.
And then you can go. I'm going out of turn.
Most likely to cock block a friend. Not Griffin. I don't think it'd be you. I don't think it'd be me either.
What does that mean?
Like for me to block your cock.
It's like if I was flirting with a girl, you'd come up and you'd kind of like mess up what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Like I would block your cock. Cock block. I don't think I don't
think anyone would cock block. Griffin might steal her though.
Oh, you're gonna get your cock, but he's gonna get his cock wet too. I'm getting mine too. But I deep down heartedly, I don't think, if anything, I'm going to help guide your cock.
Yeah.
I'm not going to block.
Firmly grasp it.
I'm going to help assist.
Grasp it.
I feel like I would, especially me being married. I'm going to try and get you hooked up with or whoever hooked up with.
Well, that's our role now.
Yeah, I am now I'm a guidance counselor for cock guiding.
Sage.
Yeah, so I guess none of us. Come sit. I teach you. I show you which way to point it.
Least likely to believe in global warming.
Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin. That's how big that was.
I do believe in weather control.
Okay.
But not global warming.
Nope. Fuck.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty easy one.
Next thing you know, we'll have a book in here on
Yeah, Kathy, if you're listening to this, I'm not interested.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Who's least affected by the Save the Children ads?
I would say all of us. None of us donate to that shit.
I love some kids, but I don't want them.
For a penny a day.
Yeah. Would you like to donate $1 to the... Nope.
Yeah.
I just want to pay my bill.
Which I only recently learned that when you donate, all you're doing is keeping them from paying taxes. Because
for like big business,
your money is considered their donation.
It's a write-off, yeah.
So I'll never donate again.
You always donate your personal money.
Yeah.
Like like adding, like rounding up. Like, hey, would you like to round up to donate? Yeah, so they can write that shit off.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, nope, I don't feel guilt anymore about that because in the past I do that.
Yeah. But fuck that. The only, not to say I'm not trying to help humans.
Yeah.
I feel like, I think I've donated to like ASPCA or whatever. Did I put too many syllables
neuter?
in there? No, to like, just to donate. Animal shelter or whatever. Yeah. They pull at my heartstrings more than some of these piece of crap people out there.
Yeah, me too. But the arms of the angels just gets me.
I see Buddha's face.
Yeah, when he's sitting at the grate.
Yeah.
There's a little fucking cry. Most likely to burn down their home for insurance money, Griffin.
Yeah, I would probably do that
if
too.
It came down to it,
I mean, it's crazy how direct I felt like.
Well, it is funny because I feel like a lot of times I'm like, well, what's the point of paying this if I don't get use out of it, you know? So if I'm paying, I guess it's like $15 a month for renter's insurance, I might as well just
and you get a fresh house.
Yeah, rake in the policy, especially where I'm living right now because it's like
you get
those
the money
wires look like ground beef. Whoever put them in there was somebody's like drunk uncle.
You get the money to replace the house, but then you pocket it and go live in the woods.
That's true.
That's how you do it.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the tent Taj Mahal. He's got like the 8-person tent with like rooms and shit in it.
Now we've got to work out a life insurance thing too.
And then you get to kill yourself off.
Yeah,
double down.
Change
something
name.
new. Yeah, that's true. So
I like that.
So,
well, that's it for this one, y'all. Hopefully you liked it. Make sure you share it. You tag us. You might win some overcome. Might not. I'll probably look out for you though, because I like y'all. If you share us, I like you. Thank you a ton. Helps get us out there. We're trying to grow this thing. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we will see y'all next week. We're out.
Ya.